Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, and with this video, I just kind of want to start opening up the conversation when it comes to 7-star rank 5s. So, why? Well, because rank 5s are coming. They're coming very soon. We're guaranteed to be getting 4 to 5 rank up gem crystal for Banquet in the top 600, and of course what that means is once everyone at the top starts getting the next resource, it's going to start trickling down to the rest of us, to the rest of the game. Pretty quickly, too, I would say, once we get into next year. You know, once we're like, I would say 3 months into next year, I'm sure there will be free to play rank 5s available across the game. Like, I would be very, very surprised if there wasn't by 3 months into next year. So what we're going to be doing today is the start of potentially a 7-part series, if you guys would like to see that. So the video I'm starting with today, I'm going to be picking just one, the number one current best option for rank 5 in each and every class. And then if we do a full 7-part series, the next 6 parts will be each on one specific class, going over about like the top 5 overall best rank 5 options. So if that's something you guys want to see, just let me know in the comment section down below and just drop a like on this video so I know you guys are interested in this topic. What we could also do is like make some type of rank 5 tier list specifically per class, or just in totality of the game, do something like that. I'm open to suggestions. If there's, you know, if you guys have an idea, let me know, drop in the comment section. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So, all right, one other thing that I wanted to wait to make like the other 6 parts until the update comes out, because like, for example, if we go to science, 7-star, there is no Scorpion in game yet. You know, we gotta wait for the update. But all right, let's go ahead and get started. We might as well start with the science class. So, speaking of science, there are some really good champions here, man. So many good champions in the science class. We recently got Lizard, who's awesome. Really like him. But it really, there's one champion that stands above the rest, and it's not Scorpion. I mean, I do think Scorpion is incredible, and I definitely think he will be a good rank 5 option. But do I think he'll be the best? I don't know. I haven't played 7-star Scorpion yet, so I don't know. But right now, there's one champion easily that comes to mind. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's that champion. Yeah. So some honorable mentions. You know, like Human Torch is amazing. He's so good. But does he need rank 5? No. Like, he's going to be melting stuff at rank 4. You know, totally. Spot, like, at Sig 200, rank 4, Spot already does so much damage. Like, I'm sure he's still going to be killing rank 5s in a single special 2. So, you know, it's going to be fine. I think it really comes down to 2 champions. And that is Photon for 1. But I don't think Photon is the number 1 best. I mean, I don't even have her at rank 4. I only have her at rank 3. You know, Photon's very powerful, very good attacker and defender. But I find her to be a bit lacking in some departments. And there's just one champion that does it better than her in the science class, attack and defense, and that is Spider-Woman, the GOAT of the science class, dude. The number 1 best science champion in the game right now. I have literally been saying that for half a year. You go back 6 months on my channel, look when I did, you know, the top 5 best science champions in the game. I put Spider-Woman at number 1. All that time ago, when people called me crazy for doing such a thing. Oh, Legacy, Spider-Woman's not that good. She's not better than Photon. And then, all this time later, now Kabam wants to nerf Spider-Woman, and Spider-Woman and Dark Phoenix basically attributed to the complete and total annihilation of the rebalance program as we all knew it. So, yeah, Spider-Woman by far the number 1 best science option in the game as of right now, as of making this video. If I could take only one science champion in the game to rank 5 right now, out of 4 to 5 science champion right now, it would be Spider-Woman without a shadow of a doubt. Boom, rank 5 Spider-Woman, dude. She's just all around so insane as a science champion. So insane that Kabam is just dead set on nerfing her. No matter what the community says or does or gets up in arms about, like, they will just nerf her. They will lie, manipulate, gaslight the entire community into nerfing her. Not only on defense, but on attack. Like, what they wanted to do, what they said they wanted to do was nerf her on defense. What's happening? They're taking away her ensnare on attack. At the end of the day, that is quite a major nerf on attack. Because Spider-Woman's ensnare allows her to just tackle so much of the game. So I think once Spider-Woman is nerfed, I don't think it'll be as clear cut and dry as who's the number one best Science Champion, who would be the number one option. But right now, oh, without a doubt, it's Spider-Woman, bro. And I would dispute anyone who tried to disagree. Like, Spider-Woman's just statistically proven so good as a Science Champion. If not, Kabam wouldn't be fighting for their life to nerf her. You know, they wouldn't have canned the rebalance program. You know, so hey man, that is Spider-Woman. She's the number one best choice for rank 5 in the science class. After she's nerfed, I think she's still going to be a phenomenal option. I think still absolutely bare minimum a top 3 option for sure. But she might not be the number one best option after she's nerfed. Like, she's going to lose that ensnare on attack and defense, which is definitely going to lower her defensive threat, and that's going to affect some of her offensive matchup spread. She will keep the evade counter, though, thankfully, after the community fought for it. Pat on the back for all of us. So at least she'll keep the evade counter, but yeah, without the ensnare, I think she's still going to be a great defender, and I think she's still going to be a phenomenal attacker. It's just, I think it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths when they play Spider-Woman. And like, a prime example of that was like Namor. You know, like, Namor used to get played all the time. He used to be regarded as one of the best mutants in the game, and then Kabam nerfed him, and the nerf wasn't like that severe, but still, it kind of poisoned the waters when it came to Namor. And I'm a little afraid that's going to happen with Spider-Woman, but I think she will be so good, and she is so good that she'll bounce back and she'll be fine. But yeah, as of right now, Spider-Woman's the science pick for sure. Alright, let's jump over to the skill class now. And yeah, here I think it's even easier. It's an even easier answer, honestly. It is the easiest answer. You know, we have Stealth Spider-Man coming. We have Kingpin coming. We have Valkyrie coming. But none of them are the number one best skill option for rank 5. No. Kingpin could definitely be in the conversation for like top 5, maybe even potentially top 3. But number 1? Nah, Kingpin's a good attacker, but he's like a decent defender, but nothing crazy, nothing special. So, you know, and then we have Okoye, who's a phenomenal attacker, but not a defender at all. So none of that dual threatness. And I think that's absolutely what you want in your first rank 5 in any given class, is a champion that's going to do great for you on attack, that you love using on attack, is comfortable with, and also that you can put down on defense when you're in a pinch and you know they're going to win that round for you. You know, unless your opponent has just like the perfect counter. Or even if they do have a good counter, you still think there's a good chance you can win. That's the type of champ you want as your first rank 5. Or at least that's the champ I want. That's the way I look at things. So Okoye, just an attacker? Nah. Same with Crossbones. Crossbones is so strong, but he's just an attacker. So, nah. Bullseye, he's primarily a defender. He is a good attacker, and I think he would benefit from the rank 5, but just no. There's so many Bullseye counters now. They're buffing X23 to be a Bullseye counter, so they're giving her Pursuit. You know, like, yeah. And then Yelena. Yelena's a great defender. Great. Actually a pretty good attacker, too. But they just keep releasing so many Yelena counters. Plus, we already had a bunch of Yelena counters in game, so it's really just one option, dude. It's Nick Fury. I think you guys all saw that coming. It's Nick Fury, without a shadow of a doubt. He's the best skill 7-star champion in game. He is the best overall well-rounded skill champion in game, I think, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. You know, Kate Bishop is definitely a better attacker, but again, she's not a defender, not really. And Kate is just busted, and that's why we're not going to see her as a 7-star anyways. I told you guys, we're not seeing Kate in Banquet, and guess what? She's not in Banquet because she's just too broken. So when it comes to 7-stars, it's Nick Fury all day long. He is, at this point in the game, definitely more of a defensive-based champion, but like back in the day, bro, he was more of an offensive-based champion. He used him to quest like everywhere. He's still a phenomenal quester, and he's still a good attacker. Like, don't let anyone tell you differently. He can still absolutely cook on attack, even in battlegrounds, even in like first life. Not to mention his whole second life cheese stuff that he can do, which is very, very useful in pretty much any meta ever. Like, Nick Fury is just, without a shadow of a doubt, the best skill champion. Without a shadow of a doubt, going to be one of my first rank 5s in the entirety of the game. He's absolutely going to be my first skill rank 5. No doubt in my mind about that. Like, zero doubt. There's not a champion in the game that I would want to rank up over him. The new Punisher was like the only one that I could think of, but like, there's no way I'm going to rank him over Nick Fury, you know. So, Yeah, that's Science Spider-Woman, Skill Nick Fury, very cut and dry in both of these classes. There's one class where it gets really difficult, but I think in most classes it's pretty cut and dry for me. Let's move on to mutants. So, in the mutant class, of course, we're going to be getting the buffed X-23, which she looks very good on attack. However, the regen is still what I have a bit of a gripe with. I think they nerfed that regen. And I don't think X-23 is going to really be a defender anyways. So I think mutants actually where things get a little bit tricky, because like in science it's Spider-Woman all day. In skill it's Nick Fury all day in my opinion, in my eyes. Like it's so cut and dry. In mutant, like there's Onslaught. Onslaught I would say is the #1 pick. I would say Onslaught is probably like the most rank forward champion in the game. Or especially like early on, like everyone and their mother was taking Onslaught to rank 4, like early on, like last year, after we got rank 4 from that banquet and everything, you know, and that started like this Onslaught. Everyone was spamming Onslaught, and it was one of my first 2 rank 4s. So of course, the most popular rank 4 option is going to be one of the absolute best rank 5 options. I mean, it's just simple math. However, though, there's some other options. So Captain Britain, I don't think she's like a #1 option, but I do think she could be a top 5 for sure. She's a menace, dude. And then there's Mr. Sinister, who is just so powerful on defense and attack. Not quite on Onslaught's level, but really not that far behind either. And then there's also Jean Grey, who is, again, not quite on Onslaught's level, but just right behind, nipping at his heels. Like, just right behind him, bro. Jean Grey is such an insane champion on defense, on offense. The force field mechanic is just so clutch and so useful. So honestly, mutant is really hard to just pick one, when I think any one of these 3 could be the choice. But I think I'm just gonna go. Honestly, you know what? I think I'm gonna say Jean. As my #1 pick. I love Onslaught. I love Mr. Sinister, but I feel like Jean might be the most versatile rank 5 option out of the 3, honestly. And like, you know, Onslaught can take more than Jean can, but Jean, what she can take that Onslaught does take, like their same matches, like for example, you know, Atuma, Yelena, like Jean just does it better, and she does it faster, and she does it with more, finishing with more health. So I think in a lot of ways she can be a superior attacker than Onslaught in their shared matchups, but I would say Onslaught has more matchups outside of that, which is very good for him. And then like on defense, they're fairly similar. I don't know. I feel like give Jean a slight edge just because, I mean, we've had a lot more time to get used to fighting Onslaught, whereas Jean not as much time. And with Jean, like it's very easy to just make a small mistake and lose a ton of health. Like even with an ideal counter, like Human Torch. You know, like the other day I was doing a Battlegrounds match, and I like the reverse controls was like just a fraction of it left, and then she threw the special, and I think it paused it, and I thought it went away, and I got smacked right in the face. Like, so it can happen, dude. It can totally happen. I think Jean is actually my mutant pick. When I'm going into this video, I thought I was going to pick Onslaught, but kind of changed my mind mid-video. Jean's the pick for mutant. So just to recap, we got Spider-Woman in science, Nick Fury in skill, and Jean Grey actually in mutant. All right, let's move on to Cosmic, where it's very cut and dry. So you know, Serpents. It's obviously Serpents, one of the most broken champions in the game. Oh wait, actually, no, it's Dark Phoenix, one of the other most broken champions in the game. The champion that nuked the rebalance program. Like, you know, Spider-Woman, she called in her Harrier, she called in a Chopper Gunner, she called in an AC-130. She did a lot of damage to the rebalance program. But then Dark Phoenix came in and just called in a tactical nuke, and the game ended. The rebalance program is over. So Dark Phoenix is insane. But still, as powerful as Serpent and Dark Phoenix are, they're actually not my pick. And there's 2 other insane champions, and that is Carolina for one. Just, this champion's ridiculous. You can just take so many different matchups that like for example, she takes Deathless Thanos really, really well, and just a plethora of other matchups that she probably shouldn't be doing as good as she is, but she does, and it's crazy. She does have some defender threat as well, but not nearly enough to be our cosmic pick. Then we have Cull, who I would say is like just one of the strongest attackers in the entire game right now. Probably the best, just pure offensive champion in the cosmic class right now. Would that be true? Just pure attacker. Yeah, I think I would definitely give that to Hulkling, or sorry, to give that to Cull. I have Hulkling on my mind now as well. So I do think Hulkling would be, a good consideration, but I don't know if he'd be number one. I don't think he'd be number one. He'd maybe be number two, but there's just one champion that stands above the rest in the cosmic class, and honestly, like, in the whole game, and that's Deathless Thanos. This guy was my my number one most wanted, and did being my first ever rank 4 champion. My first rank 4 7-star was Deathless Thanos. I think Deathless Thanos is just the strongest champion in the game at this point. Before I thought it was Onslaught. And then with that, Deathless Thanos came out, and my hope when Deathless Thanos first came out was that he would be comparable to Onslaught. And that's actually exactly what ended up happening. Like, my dreams came true with Deathless Thanos. And, like, I was hoping that Deathless Thanos would be a good defender. Like, I knew he was going to be a good attacker. And I was like, okay, I hope he's a good defender, too. And he ended up being an even better defender than I could have even fathomed. Even with, like, counters coming out, like, he still is such a good stall just because of that protection passive. So, I think I genuinely think that Thanos is the most powerful champion in the game right now. I just think Thanos is so good, man. He can just take so many different matchups as well. He's got the panic that allows him to take, like, Spider-Woman's. He destroys her. He's got the armor break, armor shatter, just so much damage. He's got solid regen on the special one. He's got increased power gain rate with the energize that he just starts with. At max sig, you can just start with the armor break, armor shatter, which makes him so good and so fast in Battlegrounds on attack. He's got a colossal health pool as well. Like, he's such a tank, dude. And I think, like, my favorite thing about all of it is that, like I said, I think Deathless Thanos is the strongest champion in the game right now. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Because, again, like, we had to collect 4 separate Deathless champions, each containing 5 separate pieces, over the course of an entire year. For such a massive gambit to acquire one final champion, they should absolutely be this powerful. Absolutely. So, I just love Thanos so much. He's definitely going to be one of my first rank 5s. I don't know if he'll be like my first one, like he was my first rank 4. But, yeah, he's going to be going to rank 5 very, very fast. Very, very fast. I can't wait to have a rank 5 Thanos, bro. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right, let's move on to the tech class. So the tech class, I would say, is the hardest one, for sure. Because there's not just, like, a clear-cut number one. Like, oh, yeah, rank up that champion. Like, there's some options. Like, I would say the closest champion to what I was just describing would be Future Ant-Man. But I feel like I have him at rank 4, 6200 right now. And, like, compared to all the other champions we talked about, like, I rarely ever draft Future Ant-Man. Compared to Deathless Thanos, Jean Grey, Nick Fury, and Spider-Woman, like, it's night and day. Like, I'll draft Future Ant-Man maybe, like, once in every 20 matches. Whereas those other champions, if I see them, like, I pick them. Like, it's stark difference. So, like, thinking about that, it's hard for me to kind of, like, pick Future Ant-Man. Tech's really difficult to just pick an overall number one. Like, Bastion's phenomenal attacker. He's not really a defender, but, like, just such a stupidly strong attacker. So I could see Bastion making sense. Stark Spidey, my favorite champ in the game. He might be my first rank 5 tech champion. Maybe. I don't know yet. I could see it, though. Honestly, I think this might sound a little crazy. But I think Solvark or Zola. I think Solvark, Zola, or Fam. because these three champions, you know, have the things I'm looking for and the things I think you want in your first rank 5 in a class, and that's, again, being a dual threat. That's a big thing. But I would say, like, Solvark is the best defender out of Zola and Ant-Man. But I would say would I say the worst attacker? Probably. Zola is weird on attack, but if you know how to use him, you can do quite a few matchups. I'm working on a Zola video to kind of show you guys the power. You know, Zola is a great defender, but he's a defender first and attacker second. I don't know if that's necessarily what you want in that first rank 5. Like, I guess Nick Fury is kind of that way too at this point in the game. Yeah, man, tech's really difficult. It's really difficult. Might just have to pick Fam because, like, he's got kind of he's the most well-rounded tech champion in the game right now, I'd say. And then we're gonna be getting, you know, Nimrod for the tech class, but I don't think Nimrod. No, he's not touching the #1 spot. Not even close. If they actually reworked Nimrod and buffed him like they should have done, to, you know, give him like what Jack has on the special 2 to make it apply plasma passives instead of shock passives, then I think Nimrod could have been in this conversation. But with just shocks, hell no, dude. Passive shocks are useless against like half the new mutants. So, like, it's just no. And it's really dumb. It's really dumb, in my opinion, that, you know, a Halloween jack-o'-lantern on fire is a better mutant counter than the greatest mutant hunting machine from the future, being Nimrod. Like, that pisses me off. You know, honestly, it pisses me off a bit. But yeah, tech was by far the hardest one for me. Maybe I'll just let you guys decide the tech one. But I think if I had to just pick one, probably just Fam, because he's like so well rounded. He's got power control. He's an attacker. He's a defender. He's got a unique damage type. He's got phenomenal damage. He's recoil friendlies. He's got good immunities with Bleed and Incinerate. He's got good safety nets. Probably one of the best safety net based champion in the game. Like, it's hard to die with Fam, you know. Glancing is so powerful. So I guess we're just gonna pick Fam, but it was not an easy decision compared to a lot of the other classes. And not for the reasons as the Mutant class. Like, I feel like in the Mutant class, you know, it was difficult because Onslaught, Sinister, and Gene are all just so high. Whereas in the Tech class, everyone's just kind of like a step down, but on that level, if that makes sense. Alright, but then we get to Mystic, and things get easier again in the Mystic class. So we have Jane Foster, her buff. It looks good, but nowhere near, like, #1. There is also Absorbing Man coming, who I think is absolutely in the conversation, but I don't think he's #1 because, yeah, Absorbing Man doesn't really take Serpent that well. And the champions we're going to be talking about do. The champions we're going to be talking about take Serpent, take Deathless Thanos, and take Dark Phoenix with relative ease. So, yeah, and they're insane defenders as well on top of all that. And it's Dracula, of course, you know, the immortal vampire. Psych, he's terrible. So I think in the Mystic class, it really comes down to 2 champions, without a shadow of a doubt, right now in the game. And that is Paviter, the new Spider-Man from India. He's very good, dude. He is so insanely good. And I'm really excited to get him, to rank him up. I'm definitely going to be taking him to rank 4. Am I going to need to Sig 200 him? Probably. Well, maybe not Sig 200. But I think he's definitely going to want to be awakened. But, yeah. But even as good as this guy is, he's not the pick. He's not the #1 pick for the Mystic class. There's one champion that is just so absurdly broken. It's crazy. And that, of course, is Nico Minoru. Dude, Nico, wow. This champion is unreal. And you'll notice that since Nico came out, Kabam has been trying to counterbalance her. So instead of just, like, rebalancing Nico and nerfing her the way they should, you know, slightly. I'm not saying nerf her to the ground, but does she really need to start with buff immunity on the opponent in Battlegrounds? Does she really need to have that? I don't think she does. I don't think she does. But instead of doing that, instead of rebalancing the new champions, what does Kabam do? No, they counterbalance them by releasing champions and creating, buffing old champions. So, you know, Lizard. We just got Lizard. He's a phenomenal counter to Nico. You know, Kabam just released Cassie Lang into the Titan Crystal. She's poison immune, science champion. Gonna be a pretty good counter to Nico. Who's our banquet champion for the science class? Scorpion. Who did they show Scorpion fighting in the reveal trailer for him? Oh yeah, that was Nico. So, dude, like, it's insane, like, how powerful Nico is. A fun little anecdotal story I got for you on how powerful Nico is. I literally used her to get my Kabammed emote here from Summerfest. I was facing a Kabam employee, and I drafted Nico, and I just put her on defense, and she won me the round. Yeah, like, she's so powerful on defense. She has so many defensive abilities, and she's just ridiculous on attack, and counters the top 3 biggest cosmic threats in the whole game. Deathless Thanos, Dark Phoenix, and Serpent. So, yeah, Nico is just the easy pick for rank 5. I've really enjoyed ranking her up and using her in Battlegrounds, primarily as a defender. Like, I would say, like, I definitely think of Nico way more as a defender than I do as an attacker, especially when I'm in, like, a Battlegrounds mindset. Like, it's very rare that I use Nico on attack. Like, I've used her on attack in Battlegrounds probably less than 5 times. I've put her on defense in Battlegrounds probably more than 20 times. Just to give you, like, some statistics. Stuttering on those S's. So yeah, dude. To recap, our number 1 recommendation for rank 5 in each and every class, we have Nico in the Mystic class, Deathless Thanos in the Cosmic class, Nick Fury in the Skill class, Spider-Woman in the Science class, especially pre-nerf. A post-nerf, we'll see. Mutant. This one was tough, but ultimately I think I ended up picking Jean. I think Jean is just... I think she might be the best mutant for Battlegrounds right now. She might be. I remember me and Liam talking about that a while ago. This was like months before the brawl, and Liam was telling me, I think maybe when it was during the qualifying scene, he's like, dude, I think Jean's like the best mutant in Battlegrounds. I started thinking, like, she might be. So, yeah, Jean was picked there, and then Tech. This was hard as well, but we ended up just picking Future Ant-Man. So, yeah, it's interesting. 2 of these champions were from the Heart of Fire, and that being Future Ant-Man and Nick Fury. And then our science champion is the champion that Kabam wants nerfed, and we'll do whatever they have to do to make that happen. And then our other 3 picks are actually all made by the same designer, which is interesting. You know, very, very good champions, and just very, very meta relevant. So I can see a lot of these champions going to rank 5 immediately as soon as rank 5 resources are available. But yeah, guys, that's my picks for rank 5 in each and every class. The number 1 option. These are my current rank 4s. And yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see when it comes to these types of videos, this series. Do you want to see a dedicated video for each class? Do you want to see some type of tier list? Let me know what you guys want to see. If you have any ideas as well, drop them in the comments down below. Let me know whether you guys think I got it right, whether I got it wrong. If you agree, disagree on any of the picks. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thank you so much for watching. Much love. Peace.